I don't know if I'm oversharing if I say this, but you're my bestie. I could tell you anything right now. I have a dream. Well, it's a little unique, honestly. I don't think anybody's ever had this thought before, but I've always wanted to buy a rundown house and fix it up. You too? You too, of course. That's my dream, and yours, and everybody else's, but I get it, because, turning a house into something beautiful. It's what I love watching on TikTok, on Instagram. The renovations, for the befores and afters, more for the reactions, because no matter what you do with your house, you're pissing somebody off. Okay, you touch your floorboards, somebody's sobbing in your comments. Nothing sets the internet on fire faster than when somebody paints their gorgeous original wood cabinets hospital hallway white. You have broken your home. It's a digital blood sport. But today's renovation family has a different kind of broken home and a different kind of reaction to their 106-year-old home renovation project. Seemed like just another TikTok renovation account. You know, they would show you the interior of the house, show you what they've been working on, give you cozy little tours. But what they didn't know was only 6 hours after posting one of those tours, something terrible was going to happen. An intruder. At 2:34 a.m., gasoline poured inside, a mother hiding with her children, a dog barking loud enough to send the intruder running, police lights, an attempt at arson, a petrified wife and her kids who had just survived an attempt at their lives, and the husband, away on a business trip. Don't disturb. His phone lit up with notifications from his wife's unanswered texts and Tinder. Tinder! Yes, this is the curious case of the Hearthstone mansion. A broken home. 2 months ago, a TikTok renovation family went from peeling wallpaper and restoring wood to breaking trust and tearing family in a single nightmarish night. From the very beginning, the wife, who we're gonna call by the pseudonym Jane, she would share her journey on TikTok. Little clips of her cleaning, her restoration, and showing you features of her historic home. But just after she posted one of those walkthrough videos, literally that same day, only 6 hours later, something terrible happened. And she posted a video explaining what took place after she survived that fateful night, thankfully. In her own words, she said, "Right after I shared that video of my home, someone broke in during the night. They smashed all the windows, poured gasoline throughout the house, and tried to kill me and my children." Her whole world changed the night the intruder broke in, okay? His clear intent was to harm her and her kids. There's literally security footage of him searching the house, trying to find them. The only reason they survived that night was the dog. The hero of the story, really, who scared the intruder and forced him to flee. The husband was allegedly unavailable, despite texts and calls at the time. The story went viral. 6 hours ago, you were watching her give you a home tour of the same place that was about to get burnt down with her and her kids in it. Naturally, after surviving the incident, she picks up, calls her husband again, who was away on an alleged business trip, right? Because she needed help accessing the security cameras. A police investigation was in place, and so I would assume the footage was needed to learn more about what happened and to help the authorities identify the perpetrator. Jane does not have access to the cameras. Her husband does. So he took screenshots of the intruder and sent them over to her. So she goes online and she updates the internet, whom we're now following her story very closely. Initially for the renovations and now for this arson attempt. She says, "Look, these are the screenshots." But the screenshots he'd sent had revealed more than just the suspect's identity. The internet, per my understanding, brought to her attention another shocking revelation. The man she thought she could rely on in moments such as this, her husband, Todd, had a Tinder notification on the top left of his screen. This man was checking the footage of the attack that almost cost the lives of his wife and kids while swiping left and right on Tinder on his alleged business trip. He has an office job, if he does at all, which conveniently requires him to frequently travel from Monday to Friday, so he's only ever back on the weekends.
So you guys think that him being on a work trip is suspicious? That's what he does for work. He's on work trip every week. He's only here Saturday and Sunday. For the last 2 months, his job has just been work trip. That's what his job is.
It was not a weekend. His family was almost wiped out. Todd is gonna have to come back earlier to be there for his family, to face his wife over 2 family disasters, his newfound betrayal, and an arson attempt. Todd, are you coming home? Todd. So she posts this on her husband's unresponsiveness that fateful night, saying, "Glad you had a great night though." Sarcastic comment, deep with meaning, really publicly expressing her pain, her betrayal, without saying too much. Police is on the case, and they do find the intruder. Turns out it is the son of the previous homeowner who actually suffers from severe mental health issues and addiction issues. Jane comes online and says it all makes sense. Allegedly, they knew that it was a drug den in the past. The whole neighborhood knew. And the way that it had looked when they moved into it also gives that away. But the intention, the gasoline, the wanting to burn the house down and searching for you and your kids. Some questions remained a little unanswered, so the internet grew suspicious of Todd, who is her husband. Todd, we have some good boys, she says. I guess the combination fueled those suspicions. The Tinder notification, the arson attempt taking place simultaneously, and him still being away. The internet began drawing conclusions, coming up with allegations and making assumptions. Was it arranged? If so, who arranged it? Or could it be just a series of coincidentally unfortunate events? To shut down some of the speculation, Jane comes back online. She explains that the gasoline, the fuel for the arson attempt, was there all along. It was never brought in. It's hers. It's the fuel she uses for her weed whacker, part of her renovation project. The things the intruder used were already there. It didn't seem premeditated to her. All right. Rather, it seemed like a situation where a psychosis episode had unfortunately turned violent.
He said he's the spiritual leader of America, and he has the deed to this house.
Does he?
Yeah, we're familiar with him. We know who he is now.
And there you have it. It was just a guy on a whole lot of illegal substances, believing he's the, religious leader of the United States and that he had the deed to this house. It doesn't make, I don't know why he was smashing windows all crazy, but I will never understand substance abuse like that.
That's terrible, okay, for all the parties involved.
But not for the husband. He didn't think it was too terrible.
Yeah, I'll make it a big deal. He's still on his business trip.
I'm sorry, what? He didn't bother come to check up on her and the kids. Did you know who did? The intruder's mother! Yes, her own husband, the father of those kids, okay, did not show up before the intruder's mother did. She shows up, apologizes, and explains. She says her son suffers from schizophrenia. Used to be under control, he was in a facility, but now he's fallen back into crisis. She even offers to pay for the repairs.
What's broken? I'll fix it for you.
Some broken things you can't fix, ma'am. Husband! Unseen. Family almost wiped out. The intruder's mother checks in. But hey, priorities. Don't lose your daily Tinder super like. He didn't come home. He was busy. Business, okay? He allegedly came home a week later. Not during, not immediately after, not even through the police interviews. A week. The internet's suspicion grows. Sleuths, or online detectives, allege that he's left her without a car, no gas, she's mentioned this herself apparently, and without money. We know that she relies on him to access the cameras, and we know that he was unresponsive at the moment of crisis. Strangest of all, though, was that he felt more comfortable, after he was caught cheating, to stay away than check on his family when something terrible happened to them. Is this cowardice, or could it be something else? People started connecting the yarn on the corkboard. Some people claimed that he had a whole other second life, second wife, a whole ass second family, and Jane was the weekend family. Which is why he worked Monday to Friday with family A, weekends for family B. Others claim he might be behind the whole thing. Yikes, that's massive accusation. Right? Even Julia Fox tuned in to ask if the police were looking into him. All these conclusions and connections, though, are just allegations pending verification, right? Legally, they are all baseless assumptions. Only verifiable confirmation that we have right now is that his wife insists that he has nothing to do with the arson attempt. Yes, he's a cheater, she says. Yes, he's a liar, but he is not a murderer. But before we connect any dots, let's just throw in everything we know so far, all right? We know the previous owner's son tried to burn the house down. He suffers from schizophrenia. His mom showed up to her door and apologized, offered to pay for the damages. During this whole fiasco, husband was away on business and on Tinder. Husband does not return yet. Also, she had apparently mentioned, according to what I'm finding online, that he's left her with no money besides $15 in her account, no car with gas, no access to the security cameras, right? Because she's had to ask him for it. This TikTok user at Maybe Maddie's was kind enough to share some of the first-hand footage you're seeing in this video. Jenna here has been investigating the Hearthstone Mansion case since the start and has been sharing her own insightful opinion on the story, so be sure to check out her take on it. She mentioned how the wife had allegedly used duct tape to fix the broken windows. She used tape to fix her windows.
So what she has done is she has put tape over her broken windows, and her husband also hasn't sent her money for her and her children to go to a hotel, and she doesn't make enough money by herself to afford a hotel.
Yeah, man's out of town 5 days a week. He can't send you money to fix your broken windows. Why did he not send you money to stay in a hotel, considering the extent of the damage? You've got broken windows and open doors. That can't be safe for you and your kids. Also on money, she's been pushing her Cash App and asking viewers to watch her videos so that she could monetize them and hopefully save enough for a divorce. She says it right there, reposting for divorce help. Is that all we know? No, there's something else. Todd, the husband, made a post on his personal TikTok that he had since deleted, trying to clear things up and address some things.
Hi, I'm Todd, and I'm the husband of Hearthstone Manor. I'm sure you've seen a lot. Let's start with Tinder. This is it. Guys, it's a made-up Tinder. I used a meme and a picture of cowboy boots. And where did I get these two pictures? And when I made this on Sunday, from my screenshots from Saturday, the most two recent pictures I could do. I literally half-assed this as much as I could, and then I downloaded Tinder Premium because I wanted to set my location to Middlesbrough. Why did I want to set my location to Middlesbrough? Oh, it's because the vibe was in shambles all weekend. It was off. She kept leaving the room, avoiding me, and she was just on her phone and laughing. And I thought, that's weird. Something's up.
Oh, I see. Okay, so he said he got Tinder to check on her and to see if she was on Tinder, right? That's so honest of you. I believe you. So then he proceeds to share some of the conversations he's had with his wife, Jane. Counterintuitively, though, making himself look a lot worse. Man's trying to clear his name and digging a deeper hole for himself.
I don't know how you don't hate me or resent me or want me dead. I was super shitty for a long ass time. Would you like to go pick out this week's car with me?
I don't know.
I don't know what.
I don't really hold grudges unless someone's actively still being shitty, so if you're cool, we're cool.
It's a lot of terrible shit that I've done. You know, I was an absolute menace to you. It's super hard to forget.
He insists. He says, I'm not picking a fight. I'm just nervous you don't really like me because of everything I did to you, which makes more sense than you still liking me, to be honest. After the Tinder ordeal, she's like, wow, platinum membership. He's like,
yeah, I had to use it to check what's going on in Middlesbrough with you.
You know, I was spying on you, right? Because the cameras that I have access to, me solely, were not enough for me to fully spy on you, so I guess I threw in Tinder into the mix. Yeah, you get a little fun, and you get to, like, spy us. Okay, I don't know what the logic is here, but okay. He's saying he's being doxxed for it. The fact that TikTok is saying he arranged this too. He's horrified at the fact that people are suspicious of him, despite his extremely suspicious behavior. What he also mentions, though, is that he didn't know if she wanted to see him after the whole Tinder ordeal. So I'm not sure I'm understanding correctly here. Are you confident in the fact that you were on Tinder because of her, or like, were you caught and you were shy to show up? Or was it cowardice, fear of showing up and owning up? But the things he said in these texts, all the things I did to you, more than this? There's more?
How does Jane not resent me?
He wondered. He cannot fathom how she could stay with him. We can't fathom it either, Todd. But here's where things get shocking. Or maybe not shocking. The internet sleuths are talking. They dig deep. And they've allegedly found criminal records on her husband. By finding out what this man looks like through her personal Facebook, which is a little bit intrusive, they've managed to pull out records. They claim that he had been previously arrested in Tennessee. These claims are based on these booking info posts on X and Instagram that feature the mugshots and a little bit more about the charges made, right? So they claim he's been previously arrested on a domestic assault charge back in September 2023, and then again on a different charge. This one was false imprisonment and interfering with an emergency call, this time in 2024. So first charge was September 2023, next charge was July 2024. They are both publicly posted on Clarksville arrests on Instagram. So if these connections are true, then this man may have a history of questionable behavior, right? And this history is allegedly not unknown to Jane, his wife, who has said it herself apparently, according to other TikTok users and sleuths. But after an eventful week, Todd comes back, and suddenly her account goes private. Everything is gone, deleted. We went from Cash App and help me monetize so I can get divorce help to an account that went completely silent. Was that her choice? We do not know. Is she hiding what she plans on doing from her husband, or is he hiding her from the scrutiny of the concerned public eye? Going private is reasonable if you're getting doxxed. When you've got the whole internet peeping into your living room, it makes sense to shut the blinds, right? Account goes private the second the husband gets back. Skeptics say it's narrative control. We were loud and mad, Glad you had a great night, we said. From collecting money to help with a divorce to radio silence. Honestly, any of those explanations are possible. But reading the room, my understanding is they're just trying to shut it all down, all right? Which raises the question, are people really all up their business? Are these people harassing the couple by digging deep? If so, is risking that inconvenience of having all these people up your business to save a life worth it? I think so. Yeah, I think a concerned society is a healthy one. Bringing this matter to the internet and then suddenly disappearing, leaving all these concerned people wondering, if they were really concerned, naturally these people are going to investigate and they're going to have prying eyes. They are concerned. But it's that kind of concern that has saved and protected many people in vulnerable positions. That said, of course, it is important to know when to slow down, okay? Don't harass people. Don't DM the intruder's mother. Don't DM Jane. Gotcha theories, I got it. Now I gotcha. No, we don't know. Nothing is certain. We do not know. Okay. And yet every new piece of information that comes in doesn't close the case. It makes it even more confusing, more concerning. Like for instance, on real estate portals, people found the house where everything happened, Hearthstone Mansion. And it was listed initially as sold, because it was sold. They were renovating it, they bought it, right? But that has since changed to pending. And that detail, that small detail, has sparked even more speculations. Did the family decide to just sell the house and escape from all that online buzz? Could it be something darker? Could it be debt? Maybe a legal issue, or perhaps the divorce. Maybe it's got to do more with the husband. Is it a money issue? Some people are saying that this whole thing was a fraud attempt at some insurance money, perhaps. Some people are suggesting that the damage was not too extreme, it was just enough. They said maybe they're broke and they're trying to make an extra bag. The Cash App and the house insurance, maybe. All these speculations, which brings us to Occam's razor. This is a problem-solving principle. It implies that when there are multiple theories that could answer a question, like in this case, many theories could be true, the simplest explanation is often the correct one. all right? And simply put, this is a woman in a difficult position, right? Ask her to choose between the monster under her bed or the partner she shares the bed with, and you'll know why denial can feel safer. But is she in denial? Many believe she is. What does denial mean, though? That implies that the husband is guilty. What of arson? No, he was found to be innocent. And his wife, who sleuths claim is in denial, asserts that, no, this man is innocent. But regardless of the arson, he is guilty of indifference. At the very least, he is guilty of not showing up for his family. And does he have a questionable past? Maybe. Did he stay away when he was needed? Yes. Is he trying to get rid of his wife? I don't know, saying,
You should hate me. How could you still want me?
Is he trying to get rid of you? Perhaps. And is he being manipulative? As per those texts, I think so, yes.
Only reason I was on Tinder was to check if you were on Tinder.
While he's the only financial provider, from what I understood, allegedly, he is also the only one who has access to the cameras. Is he a shitty husband? In my opinion, yes. Is he a shitty father? In my opinion, thus far, from what I know, yes. What else is he? We cannot claim anything further. We can only hope that if Jane is in a tricky situation, she gets out. All channels and means to get involved and help her have been exhausted. And it's important to recognize that whatever it is that is going on, it's not easy. It's not something we can be preachy about. It's a very tricky situation. Regardless of what the truths are in the situation, whatever angles could be, I think it's still an extremely tricky situation. This story ought to shed light to anybody watching this. If you are going through a tricky situation yourself, seek help. Seek help. You will be surprised how fast people will stand by your side. All right? Well, what do you think, bestie? Is it a coincidence? I'm leaning into this being a situation where two disasters had simultaneously collided. One being a marital crisis and the other criminal. The whole arson attempt, and then finding this out about her husband being on Tinder, which he supposedly was just using to check on her, right? And then he stayed away. Days. He was still checking, I guess. He was just making sure. Is that what's the law? Explain to me, please, because I'm thick in the head, I have a very slow brain. I'd appreciate you to explain it to me, Sir Todd. Either way, honestly, I'm sending love to the kids, the dog that saved that household, the dog that stepped up when husband was away on Tinder, and of course to her, who will now be rebuilding a house and a life at the same time. A renovation project on a broken home, broken in more than one kind of way. What's really wild, though, is how I'm looking at this whole situation, thinking about the arson. There's two things that took place. The arson and the cheating and the husband that's acting all sly and suspicious. But the arson is wildly feeling a lot more innocent than the other thing. A man who suffers from schizophrenia shows up, tries to burn the house down. His mom shows up and apologizes. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'll pay for all the damages. Yeah, it's bad. But which is worse? Why am I leaning to the husband not showing up, being a lot worse than the arson? Is it just me? I feel like that's insane. I feel like that shouldn't be the case. We should be feeling like the arson is worse. But it doesn't feel that way. It just feels like that feels more innocent than Todd. You know what I mean? Which is why it's so much easier for us to just be so suspicious and to just tie those ends in that kind of way. I don't know, bestie. I don't know. Those are my thoughts. You share yours down in the comments below, but that was pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Again, if you are going through a tricky situation, don't forget to ask for help, seek help, and you'd be surprised how fast people are ready to jump up by your side, all right? Me. I would. I can't fathom the fact that somebody could go through something right now. If your loved ones need you, they're going through something, life or death, okay? And you stay, what kind of dumbass person are you? But yeah, okay, this was wild. This is wild. Share your theories down in the comments below.